In the vast annals of history, there are but a few moments that have the power to change the course of humanity. One such moment took place on a hot summer day, August 28, 1963, when Martin Luther King Jr., a beacon of hope and justice, stood before 250,000 people and delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. King, standing in the symbolic shadow of the Lincoln Memorial, where 50 years prior, President Abraham Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation, a document that promised freedom to millions of Negro slaves. This decree was a beacon of hope, a joyous daybreak to end the long night of captivity. Yet 100 years on, the stark reality was that the Negro was still not free. The chains of segregation and discrimination still crippled the life of the Negro, leaving them on a lonely island of poverty amidst an ocean of material prosperity. This was a shameful condition that King and his followers had gathered to dramatize. King likened the words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence to a promissory note, a promise that all men, black and white, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But, as King pointed out, America had defaulted on this promissory note for its citizens of color. Rather than honor its sacred obligation, America had handed the Negro people a bad check marked insufficient funds. However, King refused to accept that the Bank of Justice was bankrupt. He insisted that there were sufficient funds in the vaults of opportunity in America. He demanded the riches of freedom and the security of justice. King also stressed the fierce urgency of now. This was not a time for gradualism, but a time to make real the promises of democracy. It was time to rise from the valley of segregation to the path of racial justice. It was time to lift the nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Ignoring the urgency of the moment would be fatal for the nation. The discontent of the Negro was real and would not pass until there was an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. The year 1963 was not an end, but a beginning. There would be neither rest nor tranquility until the Negro was granted his citizenship rights. Yet, in this struggle for freedom and justice, King urged his people not to be guilty of wrongful deeds. He cautioned against satisfying the thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. The struggle, he insisted, must always be conducted on the high plane of dignity and discipline. In summary, King's "I Have a Dream" speech was a powerful call to action, a demand for justice, and a beacon of hope for a better future. It underscored the importance of equality, dignity, and brotherhood, and it reminded the world that the time for change was now. It remains a poignant reminder of the struggles faced by the Negro people and a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity.